Thank you. Good morning, 99.3.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Prince Ojo.
Prince Ojo, so good to hear from you this morning. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
It was that when a sick person met the doctor is likely going to say something that has to do with biological system of that person. And so when a sick person met the pastor is likely to say something that has to do with spirituality of that person. My question is, why is it that oftentimes when pastors refuse to subscribe to the idea of separation and divorce, this program seems to attack such pastors who seems to stand according to the tenet of what we believe? That's my question.
First of all, thank you for your
question. Would you like to stay on the line, or do you want to listen from your radio?
First of all, sir, the Bible does not tell you that till death do you part. The Bible tells you in Proverbs 21:19 that it is better to dwell in the wilderness than in the house with a nagging and contentious wife. The Bible tells you in cases where nagging and contention is violence, nagging is abuse, when there is, you should separate. And then you now tell people who are going through grievous abuse and violence to remain. Okay, I will give you a very good example. The case of Onyinchi last year. She had told everybody knew. She even separated for 1 year, 3 months from the husband, went back to her mother's house. But the pastor now said no, blackmailed her by saying that, how would it be that you're a gospel singer and divorced? Who will call you to minister in their church? In fact, she was told that if she did not go back to her husband, that she would not be called to minister in any church in Nigeria. She reluctantly went back and she died in the process. Then this same pastor comes out to say, I did not know she was going out through abuse. You don't risk human life because of a doctrine that is not even in the Bible. Can you sentence your own daughter to live with a man who is beating and killing, or sentence your son to be with a woman who has almost killed him?
No. I understand your pain and the pains of everyone. But the simple question I want to ask, where is the Bible separation?
I just read it to you. Proverbs 21:9, Proverbs 21:19. And even in Corinthians, the Bible tells you that if the unbeliever lives, let him live, for you are not bound in that condition. And the unbeliever there simply tells you, number one, someone who does not believe in your religion, and number two, the person who no longer believes in the marriage.
Well, the unbeliever that is not the Christian that lives.
So the Christian, let me tell you something. This is a very dangerous slope. Last year, there were over 2,300 deaths in 365 days. That tells you that in one day, over 4 people were being killed in their marriages due to domestic violence and abuse, and in their relationships. In our own study, over 1,200 had wanted to leave, but came back because of religious pressure and died there. In the judgment, let me tell you what you don't know an accessory to murder is. Those that make the environment conducive for murder, for homicide, for abuse, they are called accessories. Let me tell you, it is only in Nigeria that you can talk the way you are talking. If it was in another country, the pastor will be arrested as an accessory to that murder, because someone seen danger, ran away. You now use doctrine that is not even in the Bible to tell them they must remain. When a woman or a man separates because of violence, you tell them that they can no longer be workers in the church. They can no longer. My wife attended that. My wife was being beaten, battered and bruised. She lost a womb to an abusive husband, yet she was told to stay. She separated. 20 years after the separation, we are still treating the abuse that she went through. We are still treating the injuries. How can you tell somebody to remain in danger? Does that even sound sensible?
All right, you know what? I'm going to allow you give this concluding point, and I'll let you go.
No,
so we can allow point to
does it sound
other callers.
sensible?
All right. Thank you. So please kindly round off their caller very quickly, please. Mm-hmm.
If it's not to go about things like divorce and separation and remarriage, what kind of thought and Christianity is that?
The Christianity that considers humanity.
Right.
What
Thank
kind
you for
of...
calling.
Listen, if your religion tells people to remain in abusive marriages, then I'd rather be a heathen than to be in your own doctrine. Somebody comes to you battered and bruised. 4 years ago, I think I mentioned it here. 4 years ago, a very, very tall, fair in complexion beauty came to my office with dark eyeglasses. I looked at her, and you are sitting in my office with very, very dark eyeglasses. I felt a little uncomfortable, and I told her to take off the glasses if she doesn't mind. She said she has an eye problem. I said, I mind, please take off the glasses. When she removed the glasses, her eyes were a different color from her body. So I looked at this abuse. She wore clothes that covered up to her hands. You understand, as if, like a celeb, very covered everything, because she was covered, and she's fair, so you could see. I said, what is all this? He said, somebody told her about me. I wasn't even on air at that time. I never came to the radio station. So she said somebody told her about me, that, this issue, that issue, this issue, the violence, the abuse, and that was just in 3 years of marriage. I said, were you a collateral? Were you something someone used to borrow money from this man? With all this, the eyes were totally dark. I said, you should leave. In fact, that day I said, I don't mind coming to help you pack. Because I will go with, policemen who will get a warrant. So we arranged, we planned, she cried, she showed me, it was just enough. I didn't want to. So the day she would leave was the following week. I think it was a Wednesday or Thursday. I told her that please make sure this gentleman is not at home before another round of assault comes. So she waited. On Wednesday, I was already apprehensive, waiting to hear from her. Thursday, I didn't hear from her. So in the evening, I now called the number, like, so what happened? She said that she wanted to even call me, but she will call me back. Later, she didn't call me back. I called her again. I said, where are you? She said she was still in the house. That that there's this very powerful man of God that they prayed, and they said that there was this 7, it was about 12 days dry fast. That is, you won't take oil, you won't take anything that has oil, you won't take maybe white fast or something like that. That she would take water and nothing with oil or something. So no oil, no pepper, all those things. That if she does it with him for about 12 days, that the husband will change. I said, why can't you secure your life first, then do the fast with him? Then, if he changes, that you don't. And she said, no, that don't worry, I understand your, she told me, her mom, all those people brought this man and they prayed, and, there was a vision that, it was the work of the enemy trying to scatter their marriage, or somebody from the husband's house that was trying to, because they didn't want him to marry her, some weird stuff. So she started the fast. Do you know, 8 days into the fast, it was 12 days. Something happened again. The man and the man, started and she started running in the house. So she ran to the balcony and closed the door. It's usually a sliding glass door. The man told her to open. This was an account from the neighbor, because the neighbors were used to it. The man was banging, open this, and then she didn't open. The man took a chair, smashed through the window, through the glass door. But the chair now not only swung through the glass door, hit her off the balcony. She landed on her back, broke her spinal cord. Do you understand? She didn't die, but she couldn't move her legs, her hands. She could only turn her neck. Do you understand? She was confined to a wheelchair. The man ran away to Canada. Some 1 or 2 years after, I saw his picture in Canada on Facebook with another family. He has moved on. This woman, we don't even know where she is, because it would take a fortune to take care of that woman, because she couldn't control her bowels, you know. So she would stool, she would and I now said, where is that pastor that told her to stay? You don't risk people's lives. I think we are past this. What kind of God would tell you to, then why is he a deliverer? Is it to deliver you from what? He will deliver you from spiritual enemies when he cannot even deliver you from physical affliction? Is marriage by force? Let me ask you a question. Will God ask for your marital status before he answers your prayers? Or will he ask for your marital status before you get to heaven? Maybe at the judgment day, he will say, are you married, divorced, separated? When you say divorce, he will say, depart from me, ye worker of iniquity. Is that what God, is God going to judge you according to your marital status? Matthew 22 tells you there is no marriage in heaven. That means it is not a recognized union in heaven. When you die, you think your marriage will continue in heaven. So why are you fussing over things that have no spiritual or heavenly or eternal consequence? You say if you are a church preaching divorce. If you are a church and your members are going through divorce, any separate violence or abuse, any of them, you rescue them, then people would not need to come to me. Please, let's move on to the next. I don't want to. This is hypocrisy.
Excuse me. Good morning, 99.3. Sincere apologies. Hello, good morning, 99.3. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, my beautiful sister. How was your life?
It was fine, thank you. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, when you are wasting your energy for something you not to be wasting it on. The thing is touching my blood. The Lord is your strength, sir.
Amen.
You see what is going on in Christianity now?
1 minute, please.
With that is going on. Supporting evil in the churches when they have not repented. You want somebody to die inside marriage. You are quoting Bible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that was a piece calling. Joy, I beg your pardon, sorry. That was Joy. Joy, forgive me, Joy. 99.3, good morning. Thank you so much. Who's on the line, please? Good morning. Your name, please, if you don't mind.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome, Lucky Lola. 1 minute.
You know, he needs help in his ministry, in order for him to move forward. And I want to tell you, in my area here, Magboro, in the estate where I live, my compound can accommodate up to 300 people. If you don't mind, sir, if you have any event that you want to do down here in the state, just after the long bridge, Magboro, I'm sure you know.
Oh, wow.
Available. All I need to do is to speak with the CDA people. If you know my.
Oh, wow.
If you don't mind, if you have anything to do around my area, please kindly let me know.
Oh, wow. Wow. I am
right.
so touched. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucky Lola, for calling.
Lucky, please, can you send me your number? Can you just flash me or send me a text message on my phone so I can talk to you? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. God bless you.
Hello, good morning, 99.3. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, Azubike?
Okay, Azubike, how are you, sir? Thank you, sir.
Blessing you, give you the strength to counter all those enemies husbands that we have in this Nigeria.
Amen.
All right, Azubike, you know you have 1 minute and it's already counting.
But all the whole thing that I have just said, whether from January to December, all of that is correct. I don't have any question to ask. It's only those who have ears, let them listen. If they don't have ears, take it them to take it their heart. So may God bless you.
Amen. God bless you too, Azubike. Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Azubike.
I like how we're moving quickly. Hi, good morning, 99.3. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, how are you today? Awesome.
Every one of them matured to handle women in the house or handle husband in the house.
Oh, lost you for a second.
Continue to give you strength in all you do. In Jesus.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Amen. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you very much for calling. Good morning, 99.3. Who is on the line? Hey, Igwe Victor, good morning. Good to hear from you.
Good morning, sir. She's fine, thank you.
Just like Joy called when she said when she called. Barrister, please do not be discouraged by anybody who calls himself or herself a pastor. These people are the reason people are dying in their marriages. When you see the truth, just because you want to maintain your ownership or the proliferation of your center, you see truth, you don't want to say the truth. You see evil, you want to cover it all just because you want to maintain your business. That if you say the truth, you might lose your members. They will continue to attack you. But what I want to tell you, sir, is do not give up on the good work you are doing. There are people I always told you, always tune into Nigeria Info 7 o'clock every morning Saturday. Wonderful gospel message of truth that is coming from you. God.
Right.
Amen.
Thank you, Igwe Victor.
Amen.
Awesome.
Amen.
My regards
Thank
to your
you.
wife, please.
I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Thank
you.
you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Alright, I'm gonna head over to WhatsApp just before we go on. Okay. Hopefully that's been sorted. Good morning. What is your advice for a person that is finding it hard to move on from a relationship that lasted for a few days? Excuse me, only to find out the lady in question is going out with someone close to you.
To move on. What is my advice to move on? A few days. What could have happened in a few days that you are finding difficult? And those that have dated for years or more, you just move on. It's simple. I tell you cannot start a relationship with love. Some people use love, and you need to get to know the person first. So you start relationships with friendships. It is safer. It makes your head clearer. Because before somebody becomes your close friend, the person must first of all have been your friend. And then, when you notice things like this, you move on easily. You thought this was even a sensible person, So you just move on is, in actual fact, the way it sounds. Just keep moving on.